Are the people you're surrounding yourself with raising or lowering your expectations? And it's really hard to find this in your geographical location. I hear this from guys all the time. They're like, oh, Zach, I just wish I had a community like yours where I live, but it doesn't seem like anyone's really into the things you're into. I'm like, oh, dude, I hear you. This is very true. Like, I felt that same when I lived back in my hometown. Like, I had some dudes I could work out with, which was cool, and we were meeting up, and we were doing that through high school. But after high school, people kind of fall off and do their things, and it is what it is. But then I moved here to Indianapolis, and when I moved to Indianapolis, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a single soul. I was very isolated the first year here, and even in the second year, and nobody was doing the things that I was doing. So I just started doing it myself. I mean, I was already doing it. I just kept doing it myself. And I didn't need other people to join me to do the things that I know that I wanted and needed to do. But I will say this, when I'm around people who are doing the things I'm doing, it really raises my expectations. It breaks that ceiling. It's like the 4-minute mile. No one could do it, and soon one did it, like a dozen others did it. For instance, yesterday I'm on a hike with Michael Donatelli. We're like halfway through. He's like, how many steps you got? And I'm like, I don't know, 8,000. We were walking for a while. I'm like, where are you at? He's like, 24,000. I'm like, it's 7 in the morning. He's like, I know, I went for a 10-mile run this morning. The dude ended up finishing with 50,000 steps yesterday. That's ridiculous. It's crazy. But he raises my expectations. And when we are together and, we're pushing these deep sauna sessions, he's ready to get out. I'm like, no, we're going to stay in for another 10 minutes. He's like, all right. Like, he would have got out of the sauna if I didn't say we're going to stay in for another 10 minutes. We raise each other's expectations. I look at him, I'm like, dude, 315 is not heavy. You should be able to do that anytime, even when you don't bench for 4 months. He's like, yeah, totally. And so now all of a sudden in his mind, he doesn't perceive 315 as heavy. He just does it. We do the same thing. We push each other with business. And it's great that he's in Indianapolis. But Mike was a part of my online community before he moved to Indianapolis. I actually been working with Mike for almost a decade now. He's like 16 years old, 17 years old when I first started training him. And I really love training the younger dudes because they keep me on my toes. They keep me in the game. They keep me young. Even though I don't think I'm old at 32, hanging out with a 24-year-old really teaches me when my physical prime actually was. And this guy's a savage, like I said. But we have these communities online. He has the Savage Summer, the Savage Group. I have the Do Our Things community. My buddy Jay has communities. Like, multiple of the guys that are in my community also host their own communities. And there's space to be able to get involved with the practices that we're doing. And I have a homie, his name is Bradley, and he started working with me one-on-one, and he joined my community, comes on retreats, and he came up and he spent some time in person here in Indy with me, because this is part of joining the Do Hard Things community. Like, you can come spend time with me here in Indy, and with my community I built here, we do different things like 50K rucks and swims and hikes and hangouts. It's truly like online and in person. And he comes up and he saunas the ice baths. Like, oh, I'm bought in on this sauna ice bath stuff. It's so good. He went home, he bought a sauna, he bought an ice bath, and he used to be a D1 baseball player. And now all of a sudden he's a hitting coach. He helps some guys out in the community, and he's bringing more of his athletes over to do sauna and ice baths. And he's like, I'm making the athletes more well-rounded, work on the mental game rather than just the hitting game. It's really encouraging them, not only empowering them as individuals, but it's making them better in the field too. So it's really cool to see that when people come and they plug in and they get to experience, a 50K ruck. My homie Jacob Welch came and joined me in the last 50K ruck. And Jacob's like, I used to ruck and I kind of stopped doing it. This dude's a savage, man. You do like 6 to 7,000 steps a day, and then just shows up and cranked out a 50K ruck, which is like almost 75,000 steps with 35 pounds on his back. Absolute savage. And he went home. He's like, yeah, I'm going to start rucking again the first hour of my mornings. I felt better when I did that before, but I just kind of got away from it. But now I'm going to start doing it again, because he had that experience, and he got to experience it with the community and feel the benefit of it. And he took it home, and now he's doing it, and him and his brother are getting ready to do a 50K ruck together. Like, what starts to happen is you join a community, whether it's in person or online, whatever. Like, let's just talk about the online community. You come and you experience it, and then you take those lessons and you start extracting them into your in-person community. You have a better understanding of how to do it because you're already a part of something. See, if I wasn't a part of community, I wouldn't be pushing myself the way that I am. And I am very self-motivated. I am very ambitious. But when I look over and my homie got 50,000 steps, I'm like, oh, 30K is not very much. And then like, I could actually do more. Community brings the best out of me. It brings the best out of everybody that I work with. So if you're not in community, I want to encourage you to plug in and be a part of community. What it can do for you. Like I've had so many guys come like, I was really like skeptical of this. Like I didn't know like everyone online's in these online communities, but they're not real communities. They're fucking Discord channels and they're stupid. There's no energy, no effort put into it. The community that I've established in Do Hard Things community, we meet up over a half a dozen times in person. I hosted Do Hard Things conference in Colorado Springs. It's a legit conference with keynote speakers, and we feed each other. I feed everybody. We have dinners. Like, we have hikes. We have ice baths. Like the work that I'm doing in the Do Hard Things community is extremely thought out. I built out personal development courses. I have over a dozen guest speakers that come in. I've partnered with one of the fastest growing pastors in Colorado Springs, P.D. Kinder, to come do presentations as well. Like we are integrated with what we're doing in the Do Hard Things community. There are great communities out there. Join mine or join somebody else. It doesn't really matter. But I can tell you this, that when you're involved in community, and it's a good community, it's not half-assed, it's not half-done. When the community's meeting weekly, virtually, when they're communicating, via text, whatever it might look like, and then they're meeting up multiple times a year in person, you are going to have beneficial results in your day-to-day life. A rising tide raises all ships. So you need to be a part of people who have high expectations for all areas of their life. Go out there, join a community, get involved, be open-minded, and just see for yourself. The best way to know is to go. Peace.